All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to go through the brackets, do a little bracketology, whatever they call it. So, a Major 4 is coming up this weekend. At the end of the Optic video, we did like a little brief note on the bracket, but this time we're going to go deep dive into some matchups, a lot of different scenarios, and then my picks, because great news, chat and YouTube video people, the bracket went live. Big paw UYEs. We didn't have this last time, but they did this earlier this time on the Pick'em website, so we can actually do this. So first matchup, Ultra LAG. This has not been a great matchup on the year for LAG. I believe it is 3-0. Ultra probably one of the favorites, if not the favorites, behind FaZe, depending on how you look at it, but that Ultra is just outright winning. I don't really want to go too in-depth on this one. I would say LAG, they go 3-4 this page. They're looking a little bit better, but I don't think they have what it takes to beat Ultra. They just got 3-0 in the qualifier. They could surprise me. They could not. Let's see. They played Karachi Hardpoint, S&D Invasion, and Karachi Control. And the problem here is Karachi are the two that LAG really like to play. So I'm not going to go too in-depth on this one. I'm sorry. I think I'm just going to go 3-0 LAG. Okay, a bit of a different one. Thieves versus Miami. Big matchup in terms of points, but also just the way these qualifiers have worked out. Both of these teams get a winner's round one, and I think both winnable matchup for both. Miami beats Thieves at the last major, I believe. Major 3, yeah, 3-1. So let's go ahead. I'm going to switch my camera. We'll go through the breaking point, just sort of maps, vetoes, what we kind of expect for this matchup. Let's see. We have a Miami. We have Thieves. Let's look at Major 4. Let's look at Major 4. All right, so Miami, what, 6-6, 4-4, 4-3 here. Playing a high-rise, a lot of high-rise control. Not a lot of invasion. Thieves like to play invasion. Let's see. Thieves, on the other hand, 5-8 in hardpoint, 7-3 in search, 4-3 in control. Leak the document. Let's see. We got a Vista. I think we're going to probably see Vista. See a sub-base here? Vista sub-base hardpoint between these two. These like to play Rio. They also like to play 6-star. We just saw sub-base be won by them versus New York. Vista here. Miami started to like Vista a lot, and then they came back to it. Might also see a 6-star in. Control-wise, though, I'm thinking we're going to see Karachi. I think you probably get rid of Invasion if you're Miami, and then it's either high-rise or Karachi, depending on what these want to play. How do I feel about this one? 4-4 in search. Honestly, what really surprised teams was Miami's search at the major. And if you take away Rio's search, you're 4-0 on. It's pretty much, what, 4-3? Don't think you're going to play Rio. You don't play Rio. Probably get a high-rise and then maybe a Karachi search here or an invasion search. Honestly, I think I'm leaning Miami. I just need to see Thieves on land. It's nothing against Thieves. I think they've been solid. I'm going to go 3-1 Miami, though. I just need to see more from their younger talent on the local area network. So I'm going to put Miami through. All right, we got a top 4 matchup in round 1. A big surprise here, but that's the way it goes when you have a struggling team. What, 4-3 for New York? Everybody was 4-3. All right, switching sides. Yeah, New York. And we have FaZe. Well, this matchup is 4-1 on the year for FaZe. 4-1. The first time that New York won it was their first match of the year. It was a 3-2. That was Major 2 qualifier. Since then, it's been all Atlanta. The last time they played, what, was Major 4 qualifier. FaZe won 3-2. So we just had that one. Vista was won by New York. You had a round 11 invasion search. Karachi 3-2 in New York. Hardpoint Karachi was 8 points. 6-star search. It was a close match. All right, let's look at Major 4. In Major 4. You got 7-6, 6-6, 3-4, 8-4, 8-2. Probably the big one here for FaZe is this is back to 8-2. And that's kind of the worrisome now. If you're in New York, this is kind of your go-to on the year with search. Playing a lot of invasion. What else have they played? 6-star? You probably veto invasion, right? If you're FaZe search. Both teams pretty much play everything. FaZe never gets Rio in hardpoint. Probably get like a Vista Karachi. That's what you got in the series online. I could see that again for the hardpoint. Search wise, I think if I was FaZe, I'd get rid of invasion. They'll probably pick 6-star, and then it's kind of up to you. You either probably go Rio or Karachi. Maybe Karachi if you're FaZe. New York could veto Karachi. If that happens, you'll probably play Rio. It looks like online they played Invasion 6-star. I don't know if you play Invasion again, though. It looks like New York's would pretty much just winning that. But we could see it again. Then control-wise, there's been a lot of Karachi control online, but I feel like on land, it always just goes back to being invasion against the top 4. The one thing is FaZe has lost multiple times on high-rise to New York, high-rise control in their matchups. That's usually when the series goes deep. The control on the year is close. It's what? 3-2 on the year. I'm going to go FaZe here, but I'm just curious. They might play Karachi, or they're going to pull out another high-rise. I guess we shall see. I'm going to go FaZe here. I just haven't seen enough on land yet out of New York. Could go the distance, though, but I'm going to go 3-1 FaZe. All right, Vegas Legion. Massive matchup overall, just from a points perspective for Vegas. And this is where it could get really interesting. You obviously have Vegas at 150. They're locking this down. At the 8th seed, they get a big match win here. They could potentially shut Carolina out or force Carolina to have to win multiple matches, which we'll get to the lower bracket, but that's potentially beating an Optic in losers round 2. So let's look at this one. Have these two teams played recently? Seattle, Vegas. 3-1 on the year for... Is that for Vegas? 3-1 on the year. They just played Major 4 qualifier. Vegas won 3-2. So let's switch this. Vegas, that Surge. 3-1 on the year. 5-2 in hardpoint is really the big edge here for Vegas. 2-3 in search, 2-2 in control. So outside of the hardpoint, it's been pretty 50-50 matchup. There's lots of options in the hardpoint here. So Vegas is showing a lot of strength in 6-star, right? You could veto that if you wanted to. On the other side, Surge show a lot of strength in Vista. I would be very surprised if they got a Vista hardpoint. So you get rid of that, and then it's kind of up to them. Do they play Karachi Rio? Karachi Vegas play? They could pick a sub base, which this team hasn't played. Have they been vetoing sub base? 5 sub base vetoes. So they may let this through, and you might get a 6-star Karachi. Let's see. Their last matchup was 6-star Karachi. So yeah, 6-star Vegas won 250 to 232, and then Karachi Seattle won 250 to 84. Could get the same thing here, unless Vegas want to play them. Vegas got 50 clubbed by Thieves on Vista twice. Do you think they run it? Oh, on 6-star? I just don't think you play them on Vista. I don't think you can. Vegas don't really play it. They veto it most times. So matchup-wise, I don't think you can. I think you have to play 6-star. If this was a different team, Sanity, maybe. But I don't think Seattle really poses like too much of a threat outside of Vista and hardpoint. So you might get the same hardpoints in 6-star and Karachi. Search-wise, let's see. What did we get? We got Rio search, and we had 6-star search. So we had Rio. Both these teams are just so close. Rio 6-star. You just get like a repeat matchup here across the board. It was 6-3 and 6-4. Vegas won both of them. Vegas aren't playing Invasion or High Rise. They aren't playing High Rise in Karachi. You might get a repeat. What was the control? Karachi was 3 to Seattle. That might be the only difference here. I think Vegas love High Rise, so you don't play them on High Rise, depending on the pick. Who's the higher seed? It's Seattle. Seattle's a higher seed. So if they picked Team A, they would have the veto. So you would probably veto High Rise, right? High Rise control. You could see Vegas maybe pick Invasion. That might just be the switch up after playing Karachi. Seattle are 2-0 on Invasion, but they got 3-0'd in the last online match. Do I see Vegas? I don't know if Vegas needs to win both searches. I think I'm gonna go with Vegas here. I don't think they need to win both searches. I think if they win one search, they win the series. I think they're just a stronger respawn team, so I'm gonna go Vegas here. It's a really good match though. Could go either way. All right, now this is where it gets interesting. Huge match for Carolina in round 1. Losers round 1. You have 140, 150. If Vegas win, that would put them at 160 or 165 in the winners round 1. So this is going to be pretty much a must-win for Carolina in my bracket. Well, I guess it's a must-win for both teams. Now, these two teams just played, and this was the 3-2. So it was a Karachi hardpoint, Vista hardpoint. All right. Dude, all these 3-4 and 4-3 teams have such similar stats. Let's look at that match specifically. Completed Karachi Invasion. Then what? They lost Vista. We got smoked. Gwyn was minus 26. They lost, but I remember both of these searches. I think we casted this. They just played with such pace. I don't know. They just like destroyed them in search. I remember that. So Karachi, you're 3-1. LAG always play Karachi, but maybe this is where they veto it. If you get rid of Karachi, both teams will play Rio. This turned into like a sub-base Rio, maybe a 6-star Rio. I could see Carolina getting rid of this and maybe LAG getting rid of this. And I guess at that point, it just depends what teams want to play. Search, let's see, you got Fried and Rio, and you got Fried on 6-star, so you're going to have to play one of them. I feel like this team would rather play Rio. They'll probably veto Invasion LAG. And then I imagine Carolina veto 6-star, and then we're going to play Rio Karachi. Maybe just a switch up there. Rio Karachi, which I don't think Carolina's going to lose 6-2 again. Control-wise, they've played all three. Carolina's always, well, they've been trying to get rid of high rise. They've vetoed it 4 times now. But is this a matchup they pull it back out? Let's see, they won Invasion 3-1. LG do play Invasion. I might see Invasion Control again. I don't know if Carolina are going to lose both searches again. And for pure entertainment's sake, I'm going to go Carolina 3-1. Because who doesn't want entertainment? We need storylines. Give me the storylines. All right, Thieves Optic. In any other scenario, I don't even know if I'd second guess this. Well, they actually haven't played this year. Really? Not at all this year? They haven't played one time this year? Not even online. Is that true? They haven't played at all. Am I really going to have Thieves double bopped? I mean, the obvious is the Optic search, right? They're 2-10. The Thieves side is their search is really good. So then in my head, are they getting a respawn somewhere? Where would it be? Both teams do play Invasion. The Invasion I just watched for Thieves this week was actually very good. Probably the best Invasion they've played, or at least I've watched versus New York. Do they get 2-3-5? What are Optic vetoing a lot of? High Rise and Rio. They probably keep that up here. You probably get a High Rise veto against these, right? They're vetoing 6-star, so you're going to get that out. That's one of Optic's most played. They're not even playing it, so that's gone. You might have to get rid of Rio here, though. 4-0. Do Optic play him on Rio? Yes, that's the question. You have the choice of Optic if you're either playing this or this, depending on what you veto. Because that's what these are going to pick. They're going to pick High Rise or Rio. And I think you probably pick Invasion. As crazy as that sounds, because Karachi would be open, but they're what now 0-3 this stage. Karachi, they could pick a Karachi though. Man, what do I think here? Do I want full gas entertainment or do I put Optic through? I mean, these haven't won a match. They just won their first match versus the top 4 team, and their land has not been great. On the other side, Thieves, Carolina, and Vegas would all be on the same side of the bracket. It's just really hard for me to think Optic doesn't want to match on land. I got to give them one. I feel like until Thieves do it, I don't know if I could trust it. I'd give them the search. Okay, up next we got what's New York, Minnesota. New York, Minnesota. Okay. Just had this one. New York won game 5. This was Spart was in. On the year, it's 3-1. The one time Minnesota won was winners round 1, a major one. So it's been a while. I'm not going to overthink this one too much. I think it's just been tough with Minnesota coming in and out with accuracy coming in, obviously with family problems. I mean, if they win, that would put them at 150 and make things really interesting. And if there's a team that at times plays down to their competition, it's absolutely New York on the year. I just don't know if I see it happening. So I'm going to go New York. I'll give them one, though. Okay, last matchup. Let me move my camera really quick. We got Seattle versus Boston. I'm not going to overthink this one either. All right, that's actually a really fun matchup in losers round 2. Okay, winners round 2. Ultra versus Miami. I'm pretty sure that Ultra own this matchup, and they have for a long time. It's 3-0 on the year. It's a 9-2 map count. Last time they played was Major 4 qualifier, and the Karachi search was won. Now, this was one of the closer games, I think. And I love Javi, but Scrap loves Javi more and loves beating Javi. So I think I'm going to go 3-0. Okay, FaZe Legion. I haven't played each other since Major 3 qualifiers. It's 2-0 on the year. For pure entertainment sakes, and I think most people probably have FaZe Ultra, I'll give Vegas a map as the winner's final. But this sets up this. And how crazy do I want to go about this? Because this is the big part of the bracket. There's 2 things that can happen. If Seattle win, okay, this puts Vegas down here at the bottom, into which you would have, right, say you do this, you could have Champs come down to these 2 games, potentially that A spot come down to these 2. But in my bracket, Carolina has to get here. So in my bracket, I have Vegas moving on, but losing to FaZe, which puts a potential Carolina-Vegas matchup for a potential 8th seed. What's more likely? All right, let's see. Carolina Optic. It's 3-1 on the year to Optic. 6-1 hardpoint, 1-3 control. 3-2 in search for Carolina. They play them well in search. They do not play them well in the respawns. But they won the last series 3-2. If they both got there, wouldn't they both be in with LA out? That's a great question. I don't think so because LA is 15 points ahead, correct? And they have the tiebreaker, I'm pretty sure, over everybody due to map percentage and like series. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure what a land win is 15 points. So that would have everybody in my bracket tied. Or when does it turn into 15 points? Is it after round 1? Either way, 15 points or not, Vegas would only win 1. So they'd be at 165. So it would still come down to this matchup, I'm pretty sure. Potentially. I would have to look for sure. Because it's odd because, yeah. Yeah, Optic can bounce back. Yeah, I think they can for sure. I think this bracket honestly plays out well for them to where they can bounce back. From a just what I want, I guess, to happen for your storyline, if they both win, I think they both get in. I think they would be in over Thieves. I think they'd both get in because they'd have around 10 and then like 20 to 25 points. That'd be 20 points. If they get 20 points, they'd pass Thieves. So Carolina would only need to beat Optic then? No, because Vegas would still win, right? I need a mathematician. Odd to me because they just get more matches, I guess, but they don't. But they do. But they don't. But these would be out. I think you're right. Actually, you would win 2 games. You would have to, minimum 20, 25 points. Oof. So that makes this game even crazier because Thieves don't want to drop down, right? Thieves don't want. Unfortunately for Thieves, if they drop down, they play Optic. Okay, so do I rethink this bracket now? If I want pure insanity, do I go Thieves here? Hold on. I go Thieves here, Ultra here. Now what does this look like? Now this is insanity, right? This is probably what I want to happen because then it would come down to Carolina Vegas because Thieves would have a win. I'm going pure storylines here, folks. I'm going 3-2. Bang. Pure storylines. Let it happen. It's the last major. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm so in. Well, not only would it come down to this, it would also come down to, I think if you're basically hoping Thieves lose here. I think it's the goal. Like Thieves would maybe lose to a New York, which they just played. Okay, listen, to the Green Wall and the Optic fans, I think this is a really good bracket for them to go on a run, actually. Just the way that the rest of the match works. From a pure what I want to happen for a storylines, this is what I'm rolling with. Please, I promise you, don't hate me. Just want chaos. I'm a chaotic man. That's why I cast with Maven. All right, so now we're at New York Surge. Based on recent form, is it really? I mean, based on recent form, nothing looks good. They lost to Boston. But in terms of if you're trying to carry momentum, you're avoiding a top 4 team until elimination round 4, which would put you at top 4. If I told you Optic would finish top 4, you'd probably take that if you're an Optic fan, no matter who you're beating. But the bracket does play out well for them. All right, so I'm going with pure chaos. Okay, so now we have New York, Seattle. Let's see this matchup on the year. It is 3-1 New York, and they actually own the matchup 4-0 in search, 3-1 in control. The hard point has been 50-50. It's 4-3 for Seattle, actually. Last time we saw it, New York won was a couple of weeks ago, the 7th. We had Vista hard points. Don't think we'll see that again. Invasion, High Rise Control, Hardpoint Rio. I'm actually surprised they played them on High Rise, Seattle. I don't think they'll probably do that again. You'll probably get an Invasion. It's what you've been working on if you're Seattle. Or I guess you'll take a Karachi. Probably don't want to play High Rise. I could be wrong. But I wouldn't play New York on High Rise. I think that's their best map. If you veto Vista, looks like they'll play Rio, Seattle. But they don't want to play 6-star. Might get 6-star Rio. This depends if people want to play Surge on Vista. It's just like the one map where they've showed a ton of success. Okay. Let's go with... I think I'm going to go New York here. I think they go on a bit of a run. I think similar to Optic, I think this is just a good bracket if you're going to drop the losers round 1. Play Mini, New York. All right, Thieves, New York. Okay, let's go to Winners Final. I think this is what most people think is going to be the Winners Final. Could change here, but feels like they're the best 2 teams right now. FaZe lost the last online matchup. On LAN, though, is where it gets interesting. I think FaZe should have won. That propane play happened, but it happens to everyone, I guess you could argue. All right, so I think Ultra are going to... Both teams are undefeated on 6-star hardpoint. Do we get a 6-star? Let's look. Matt, last time they played, we had Vista and Subbase. What if you go Vista Veto, if you are FaZe, and a Rio Veto if you're here. So do you get a 6-star Subbase? Well, no, they're not going to play Karachi. Huh? You might get the same maps. I think FaZe are cool with playing Vista. On the year, they had a tough one, but on the year, they're 7-3. And I think this is the reason why they're playing more Subbase, is for this matchup in particular. Because on the head-to-head for Karachi, what is it? I'm pretty sure a lot of Karachis, I'm pretty sure Ultra has won like all the Karachis. Honestly, I think we might get the same maps that we just saw online, which was Vista Hardpoint, Karachi Search was around 11, High Rise Control is around 5, Subbase Hardpoint Phase 1, and Ultra still play that. 6-star Search, or Ultra 1. What is FaZe's search veto? High Rise, Karachi. So they probably don't want to play them on Karachi, I assume. Maybe they will, though. Maybe we won't see 6-star this time. Maybe see like Karachi instead. I'm going to go FaZe this time. I know on LAN it's been a little one-sided. I think FaZe, with them playing Subbase, kind of like, I think they should have won the last matchup too. Okay, Vegas, Carolina. This would be to qualify for champs, which Carolina has So they have not played since Major 2 losers bracket. Both times Carolina won game 5. The one time Vegas won, it was a 3-0. Attach versus Clay for champs. Dude, this is hard. It's hard making these. Gwen and TJ play the way they can. Vegas going down. I mean, of course, it's all. I mean, yeah, it's like, just will they? I mean, just look how similar their stats are. This is such a coin flip. Dude, this Vegas team they're good, man. Like, I think they're really solid. They do have these moments of lapse where it just feels like they play around kills a little bit too much. Only thing is their map pool is not very deep. They only play 4 maps, hardpoint, 3 maps, or search. I'm gonna get rid of one of them. Getting rid of Purge was a good thing in the long run. I don't know, because they had Major 3, which they were 5-2, right? Stage 2? Sorry, Stage 3. With all their team changes, like, I think with Purge, they couldn't beat the top 4. They could beat the rest. So I don't know what their points would be. I don't know if they'd be in this mess if they changed. Just think for pure cinema, I'm going to go Carolina at 5 after being Optic on my bracket. I think Vegas could easily win the series like 3-0. If one player has an off series for Carolina, I think they lose. It's a big pressure map. I'm just going to go with Clay. I don't have any logic behind it. They're pretty similar stats-wise. Haven't played each other in a while. Why not? Bold predictions, I like it. Let's go with it. All right, New York Thieves. Okay, so if this happens, I think Thieves are safe. Vegas would be out. All right, I think I'm going to go New York here. I just haven't seen much from Thieves beating a top 4 team. It's 2-0 New York on the year. This is actually an interesting matchup. Crazy enough, Carolina have a chance to get top 3 here. Not saying this is an easy bracket whatsoever, but they actually play New York tough all the time. The last 2 games were both game 5s. It's 2-3 on the year. The one thing that Carolina gets smoked in is control, but I think 4 of those losses, I would bet most are on High Rise, which I don't think they play much anymore of. Now, Invasion, they won in the last matchup. You're on the top 3. Let's do it. Hey, buddy. Hi, pal. You want to say hi? Say hello. Hi, bud. Who do you think should win, blue or yellow for the video? Blue or yellow? What's that sound like? That sounds like blue. You think yellow? Yellow? He says yellow. Okay, he went yellow. So I'm letting my kid make this prediction. Yellow it is, kid. He said yellow. I'm going to go 3-1 here. All right, Ultra New York. It says 2-1. 2-1 Ultra? I actually haven't played that much. Toronto won the last matchup. Major 3 qualifier. I just don't think New York's respawn's good enough yet. I'm going to 3-1 there. Then it's final time. Honestly, this would be an insane bracket. I have no idea if this is correct. Doing brackets is really hard. But this would be a fun one. Now it's final time. Best of 7. Miss you talking about Optic. You think you expect the show to continue being stale? My bracket is for pure cinema. I think I could easily see them getting through this part of the bracket. I think they could beat all these teams. I think it's a good bracket for them to at least regain some momentum. And then you're to if you could get here, you're to a Sunday again, and who knows what happens. FaZe Ultra again. All right, this has been pure cinema. Let's go to a game 7 here. That's what I'm building my bracket on. I think if FaZe win the winners final, I'll go with FaZe taking this one. I'm going to go FaZe 4-3. That would be the end of my pure cinema bracket. Saving my predictions. Where do I think this could change? I think this could go Miami's way. I think this could go Seattle's way right here. I think obviously LAG could win here. They already beat Carolina. This is a tough matchup. I don't know if Miami could beat Optic. Obviously, Optic could go all the way to here. Elimination round 4. Down below here, I don't know if Minnesota has what it takes to beat New York. I don't think that. Seattle could beat New York here. Then you would have a potential Seattle Thieves matchup. Vegas could, of course, beat Carolina if this happens. We get to this point. And then you could potentially have, for a top 3, you could have like a Vegas versus a Thieves here or a Seattle here for a top 3. So there's lots of, I think, matchups which a lot of our teams are 4-3 this year, or 4-3 this stage. Could go either way. I think the 2 favorites are very much Ultra FaZe. I'd be very surprised if they didn't get to this point. We could honestly get all the way to this point, and this could be a New York versus an Optic winners round 4, and we have the same top 4 teams. I guess that's the fun part of brackets and upsets, but this is what I'm going with. So good luck filling out your brackets. You could do it on the Pick'ems website. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I love you. Bye.